Hi, what's going on? I'm DJ Smooth. Welcome to the Real DJ Smooth YouTube channel. And this video is how to make beats. We're going to use Fruity Loop Studio FL12. And what we're going to do today is select sounds, which is probably one of the most important parts of making a beat. We're going to use scales and scale stamps that are either major or minor scales. And that's the difference between, say, a happy sounding beat or a sad type beat or a dark beat. Just the scales. We're going to create a melody using the right sounds, and from there we create a harmony based on the melody that we've created. Then we'll add the 808. Once we got an 808 tuned in and rocking, we'll go and add the drums. And after the drums are done, we're pretty much ready to start mixing the beat. We'll get a good sound going on the beat with the bass and the kick popping. Then we'll arrange it, so it's set up for an artist to come in and start working on writing to it immediately. Then we'll export it, and from there, we'll hope you subscribe, like, and comment on our new video. This is my first beat video, how to make beats. So let's get right to it. First thing is to crank up the Fruity Loops FL12. And we're going to pull up an atmosphere. Obviously, you can use any sound sources that you want. I just like atmosphere. It's pretty dope, and I like it. From there, we'll create a new sampler channel, and the sampler channel is where we're going to stick our scales. And the scales are basically major and minor scales. There's only two scales, and those are differentiated. Really, there's a million scales, but like this is Western music. We're talking about rap music, how to make beats. The difference between a C major scale and a C minor scale is that there is a flatted sixth, and by flat I mean drop the tone down one tone. So if you look at the scale here, this is tone stamps. We start at C, C, D, E flat, F, G, G flat, G sharp, and B. This is the harmonic minor scale. Now, the minor scale in this case would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B. That's the major scale, okay? So a major scale sounds like this. It's happy. It's got a nice, round, full, complete tone. So it would be like... Okay, now that's the C major scale. Now the difference between a C major and a C minor scale is that you start a minor scale two tones down in the scale. So instead of starting a scale at C, you start two tones down. C, B, A. Same scale, A. Okay, that's A minor. All right, that's a minor scale. And I'll illustrate this for you with the stamp. So, like I was saying, the only difference between the scales, exact same notes, is you're just moving them down to two tones, right? So this is going to be all the white notes again, but just moved down two steps. So this is an A minor scale. All the white notes, just like the C, except it starts two tones down. A minor. So with that, I wanted to do a minor beat today, kind of dark. It's what's popular. People are trying to get the sad beats and that stuff going on. So Instead of the C major happy scale, we're going to start using this A minor scale. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. In this case, so we're going to pull up this sphere here, and let's find some sounds, right? I don't like the trap cat woman sound. It's always there whenever I go and do stuff with it. So what we're going to do at this point is just find something cool. So that's not even the A minor scale. This would be. Okay, so we got something A minor going there, but don't want that sound particularly, but alright, let's keep going. We're gonna find the sound right quick. No, that's way too much stuff going on. Let's just start with like a category, right? Go with bells. Bells are like super like popular right now for this type of music. So we're gonna step up an octave there. So we're just gonna bang out something simple like that. So I'm not even gonna poke it out on the piano line. I'm just gonna play something, and maybe we'll catch a muse there right quick. So start at 140. Let's go ahead and bang something out. So yeah, it's kind of just random. So we'll come in here and quantize this and make it full legato and turn this off. Let's see what we got. If there's something we can use in it. That's kind of cool. So we can fix this part here since we're doing these 16ths. These are called 16th notes, by the way. And it's pretty hot. Okay, so this tone is cool, but it's got some things going on that I want to dial down. Specifically, some bottom end chatter that we're just gonna pull out for EQ and pull down the tone a little bit. All right, so we are in the key of A minor, and we have a melodic harmonic content type of situation here. So we can just take this and pull up another sound. So we'll go with, I don't know, let's try Nexus and see what Nexus can generate for us. Alright, so we pull up a sound in Nexus. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but we come in and let's just copy and paste this in there. There's a lot going on there, huh? We can actually tame that a little bit by fixing the tones there. So let's see what happens when we. That's a lot going on. It's just too much going on with that sound. So let's talk about another tone. All right, so we've got some stuff going on here. Um, let's pull up another sound. So at this point, we've got like two parts mirroring each other, and I think we've filled up a lot of the tonal space already. So at this point, we're gonna do uh, a pad or another sound to give it some bottom end that we can manipulate. So we're gonna take this pad and create a 1-5-4 chord structure underneath this arpeggio, because what we just did is a couple of arpeggios, stacked them up. So we're gonna go with, since it's an A minor, we're gonna go with A, F, and then E. All right. So let's get this going. All right. Quantize it. Control L to make it legato. And stretch it on out to the end there. Make sure it's not coming over the end of things. Turn this stuff off. So we're going to solo this and find some rhythm that works. All right, we're gonna roll with that. Okay, so now that we've got some kind of harmony and chordal structure underneath this guy, we can go ahead and get started on the 808s. And to pick an 808 is not all that hard. You just need to listen to the overall sound of stuff and try and match the what's going on with the actual sounds themselves. So I got a hold of this one of Nick Mira's kits, and one late night downloading session over on Reddit. So let's just get into what he's got. The 808s sounds he does are like, he's got some cool shit going on with his 808s in this pack. And let me see, not getting any plays on this. So the reason for that, so F9 doesn't bring up my mixer like it should because of the control it has over Camtasia. So hopefully we're back to recording. We didn't lose too much. So yeah, we were picking an 808. Now you hear that like whoop, little wail in the back of that 808. He's done some cool shit. So this has got some piano tone underneath it. I like that sound. It sounds good with this. So let's go ahead and clean it up. Edit this thing. Best thing to do for me is make sure that the tone is in C. Nick is pretty good about putting out sample packs that are ready to go. So all I'm doing now is just to take the pitch region, make sure it's in C. Then we'll just take this sample and put it back in here. I don't need loop points. I'm gonna set polyphony to 1, and it's on its own channel like it's supposed to be. And from here, I'm gonna take this bottom end of this chord structure, and we're going to work it into the 808 pattern. So we're going to go to A, F, and E, which is what we did. And from there, it's a lot to go on. Make sure all your notes are turned up for this 808 to work properly, and then we'll come in and just do some slice and dicey. Hold down shift and it will lock to our grid points. do. Chop, chop, chop. So just push it up an octave there at the end. Dicey. And now we have an 808 pattern, just really simply based on from there, we'll just close all these out, pull up a kick. Now we're just going to copy this and paste it down here to our kick channel, and that's a bit high, huh? So we'll take this, move this up. Basically, we're just going to keep the kick pattern for the 808 and augment it a little bit. Let's make sure that we're on our own channel here. This is a really loud kick. Nick likes to really saturate his drums, so yeah. So pull up our mixer, get this thing going right here. Alright, so let's get something going on with pick out a snare. I like this one. First one we hit. Sometimes it's it works, you know. Bring this up, put it on its own channel. We're gonna start at 11 for the snare. Piano roll. So let's go ahead and draw our snares in, and I didn't use this one yet, so I kind of like the sound of that. Throw this on track 12. Draw in some snareage. Make sure this is cranked all the way up. Okay, now we've got with the hi-hat here, it's usually not all that difficult to program a hi-hat properly. In my book, we select everything, Control L to legato the sound, or basically stretch it to the next note, like this, pow, pow, pow. And this gives us meat to get to the higher divisions on this. So we'll just highlight one of these, and let's check our quantization. This is going to cut this into 30 seconds. I'm just going to slice this up a little bit, right? And let's do a little pitching on these. Give it a little bit of flair. You know what I'm saying? So this is supposed to be 1/6 dot dot dot. Drop that down. Now we're going to set the panning for the hi-hat here. I don't go too crazy on this, but it's fun sometimes just experiment. The hi-hat pattern, in my opinion, is what drives a record. It's really important to have a hi-hat pattern that fits the track properly and that propels it forward. You know what I mean? A lot of times if you took a hi-hat out of a record, you drastically will change it, you know? I also like to do beats without hi-hats at all, you know, just straight up like think pieces. So there's that. Anyways, we got the hi-hat pattern going for this guy. So we're going to add another hi-hat variation in here using gross beat, which is a cool little trick. Just basically slow it down. And there you go. These are some really cool ones. I like what he's doing with these sounds here. Really changing them up and making them, creative. I'll just go with a simple one here. Throw this up on channel 14 where we don't have any sounds. And alright, so let's look at our master, and I'm kind of happy with this right now. Come on, dude, what are you doing? So I got some weird flanging going on here, but all those tones that we've got here are magically playing nice, under clipping. So now let's get to step number 7, mixing this beat. Got a loop that we're happy with, so this is cool, this is cool. Start with the kick over here. So we're gonna pull up something called sausage fattener, which is a kind of a compressor EQ. It gives you some bottom end and a little bit of color on the top. And let's bring a little bit more of that over here to our 808. Doesn't really need all the help, but this is what I do. So alright, now we're going to set up a peak controller for our 808 and kick, so we can duck properly. The peak controller basically ducks the 808 sound underneath the kick sound, basically. If you watch the little dial here, see how it's jumping. Not sure why we got the flanging going on here. There's something that I did wrong, obviously, but that's it. That's the basics of the beat. And next thing to do is come over here to our master slide. I'm gonna pull up another sausage fattener here just because it gives it, it basically ties stuff together pretty well. We'll bring a little bit more color into it, which is the high end. And we'll dial some of that back out of here. I want to have a suggestion of it, not necessarily like it full on. And then let's go ahead and throw a Ozone 8 on here. This guy right here is really good, high quality mastering unit. Set this up right quick for the dynamics. Basically just watch the dynamics that I use here. We're getting into using a lot of processor power, so we want to dial that down a bit. We also need to save this beat as something. Good thing it didn't crash for us. Beat tutorial 1. Thank you for the loops for not crashing on us. So to look at the amount of memory this unit is pulling, just look up here at the top. It's 1800 megabytes. It's basically 2 gigabytes of memory. I'm going to go through and bridge all of the VSTs here. They tend to like to eat up a lot of memory. If you look here, I've dropped a gig already. Now this guy right here doesn't need it. Expand doesn't need it. It expands pretty old. It's very processor friendly. So now that we've got a gigabyte of memory back out of this, we can go back into our mastering unit ozone here and try and get this guy to give us something without breaking up too tough. We can basically just flush this thing. We have to restart. So let's save this guy, close out the program again, and bring it back up. Let's bring up our Fruity Loops again, bring this session back up, and get back to work. Hopefully we won't have any of that snap, crackle, pop shit. That stuff gets on my nerves really badly. Now you see we're at 300 mega gigs. Okay, so that's not really working for us too well there, but so we're just gonna kind of guess what we got going on. We're gonna set this to proper threshold levels, and hopefully we can get something popping. Oh wow, that's just ridiculous. Okay, so I guess my computer's not stout enough to do all of this stuff at once, and that's fine, but we're going to push through and try and finish up this video. So we're just disabling the mixing units for right now, and let's go ahead and arrange it. Let's just pretend we actually did mix it. Arrangements as an art form all into itself. The common way to do it is just copy all the loops out, and then start deleting stuff, you know. So I'll show you how to do that right quick. This is the 808 kick, snare, clap. Now, as you can see, I'm not one of those make a beat in 5-minute type guys. I hadn't got that fast yet, especially when I'm trying to teach y'all how to do something. So now we've got all these loops split apart. Let's just go and Control B and split them out, the keyboards here, all the way out to, I don't know, 3 minutes, I guess. B. We want to have a 3-minute beat. B. So this is a 2-bar loop pattern. So it's it basically loops every 2 bars. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8 bars in real life at 70 BPM, which is half here. 2, 3, 4. All right. So let's get rid of some sounds. Gonna make this a short intro. So as a rule, I want to keep my intros less than 30 seconds long. In this case, it's not too hard. At 140 BPM. Bam, and that's where the hook hits. All right. And we want to have an 8-bar hook, and from there, let's go ahead and lay out the first verse. Alright, so we're going to go with a 12-bar verse, which is pretty much the standard these days. Just people just don't hit 16 bars like they used to. Want to keep the songs under 3.5 minutes nowadays. So... 2, 3, 4, then we come back in here and let's swap sounds for the second verse here. Alright, so that's 2 verses. We got a hook, that's 8 bars here, and we'll just do like a couple, let's do like a couple 8-bar out. And that's your beat. You feel me? We'll go in here and copy this value, create a automation clip to turn the beat down at the end, and there we go. The beat is done. All we gotta do now is just export it. So if you like this video, please subscribe and like it down there in the bottom corner. Hit the comments if you feel in this beat. We'll do a video for this beat probably later on this afternoon. How to make a beat video is coming up soon. But for now, let's just leave me some feedback. Subscribe for me if you would. Like this video if you liked it, and comment on it. This is DJ Smooth. I just made this how to make a beat video, and please give me some feedback. Let me know what y'all thought about it.